What educators all over the country want is for their students to meet and exceed their potential, for them to achieve at the highest level. And in so many places, it's simply not happening.
When I was a new teacher, I was getting observed really infrequently by the administrators or mentors who I had at my school. You get an email a couple days later that's like, here's what you did right, here's what you did wrong, your bulletin board's not updated. That doesn't make anybody a better teacher.
Look, I get it. I've been there. Teaching's the hardest job in the world. It's like trying to file papers while falling out of an airplane. They have very little time to implement new strategies. I was a teacher, I was an instructional coach, and I've written thousands of coach plans for hundreds of teachers in dozens of schools around the country. I've trained teachers and leaders from 70 cities around the world, and I've worked to design and refine a coaching model that gets results as quickly as possible.
Skyrocket helped by giving us a very clear rubric for our teachers that we could use from even our weakest teachers who were brand new or some of our more advanced teachers who were stronger. The rubric gave us the ability to focus in on those skills to get our teachers where they needed to be.
What makes the Skyrocket rubric different is that instead of a whole mass of information that educators have to sift through, it's 3 strands that go in order. The first one is classroom culture. The big picture there is like, does the class feel good? Is the teacher warm? Are students being given clear directions, and are they following those directions? Strand 2 is content mastery. The idea is that we can't get really deeply into content until the teacher's built a rapport with students and students are willing to trust the teacher and do what he or she asks. But once we get to Strand 2, we are hyper-focused on the content being presented, on lesson planning, on scripting out exemplars, and making sure that students have meaningful work to do throughout. Strand 3 is rigor. That's where we up the game and we start to push way more of the cognitive load onto the students. All the noise, all the other stuff gets put aside until we can get the most important things figured out and mastered first.
What I most appreciate about Michael is his ability to just really cut through all of the noise and get right down to the most important things that we need to do in our classrooms.
There are 100 different things you could do to attack school turnaround every day, and what he does is takes the highly complex and distills them down in compelling ways for teachers and leaders to make the work seem possible.
My teachers get in-depth lesson plan review. I go through each part of their lesson plan. I line it up with the Skyrocket rubric. I look to see, are the materials aligned? Is the content rigorous? Are we meeting the needs of individual students that we know have special requirements for their learning? We are in teachers' classrooms providing them with real-time feedback. In a traditional school model, teachers do not receive feedback that often.
This is about in-the-moment feedback based on what folks are seeing in real time, and I think that's why the approach is the same in the sense of we're going to see what a teacher could be doing differently to get better outcomes from students, but the feel is very different because of how we're focusing.
In working with Skyrocket, what I've appreciated the most is the focus, the ability to manage the people under me and be able to get there quickly, cutting out all the other distractors along the way.
With the instruction and the coaching that our instructional coaches are getting, our teachers are really learning the best practices that is leading to academic growth.
I was also an athlete, and I believe in practice because when it's real time, you already know what it is, so it's muscle memory. So reps on reps on reps, and it helps you practice, so when it's game time, you know to go.
I'm extending an invitation. Come to the Skyrocket website, download a free copy of our Skyrocket Coaching and Teacher Evaluation rubric, and see how easy it is to understand and to implement.